how tired I look.
Survivor Specialist Phil and Alexa are back, and Alexa's going to try to complain her way through this entire episode by being up at midnight. Just remember, I'm going to be up till 3 or 4 in the morning every time after this. My feel bad level is not very high. I'm sorry.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm peppy. I've had a lot of coffee. I am ready to rock and roll.
Sounds like you've had a lot of something, but your voice is raspy. You sound like you've been smoking cigarettes. So we're back with our episode 12 recap. We only got 2 more episodes left of the entire season. Tonight we had the loved ones visit. We got to rip through that. I mean, other than that, wasn't much strategizing going on. We had an insane move that somehow worked by Sarah. Sierra, maybe you weren't playing as good of a game as I thought if you fell for Sarah's trick there. We finally got to see Monica, which was huge. We didn't get to see HB, which was bad. We didn't get to see Kate Upton, which was worse. And now we're finally moving towards the final 8. Interesting final 8 with Sierra gone now, in such a weird way that they would all believe that Sierra actually believed that Sarah didn't vote for her tonight when the vote was 6-3.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna follow my sword here. I had Sierra at number 5. I was feeling okay about her. And even through the majority of this episode, I was like, wow, she spilled the beans, all the beans on her legacy advantage, and she's going to somehow pull this one out. And she didn't. And we saw her, we saw in the previews, she said, I have the legacy advantage. And I think her fatal flaw wasn't even telling Sarah that she has this advantage, but telling her she's going to give it to her. And she did, which is even more bonkers. And she got voted out. And I'd love to know how much time they have in between getting voted out and passing on the legacy advantage, because I think if she had thought about this, and not saying she didn't put any thought to this, but it seems like this is a very immediate switch. And they said, okay, who you giving it to, Sierra? If I did a little mental math, and I'd be like, wait a minute, Sarah voted me out. I'm giving this to Brad, my guy since day 0. So yeah. That was crazy.
That's what I think it is I think it just came down to the fact that they don't have a very long time in between, or so it's very quick. That was probably the first thing she did. It's probably the first thing she said in her last words, because they have to get that before they have to get the last words. She might have even done that right next to it before she even got to her last words, whatever. But that's the first thing she does. And I'm just like, she had to have been really blinded by Sarah, and Sarah must be playing a really good social game right now. I don't know if it's going to come back to bite her when people finally start realizing that Sarah's the mastermind behind everything. But how does she not realize that Sarah voted for her? Jeff read 3 votes for Andrea. 3. You really think Troyzan or Brad didn't vote with you? Are you crazy? Troyzan was all about trying to get Ty and Michaela on board, and Brad is never going to vote for you. So, how could you ever be thinking that Sarah didn't vote for you? And I'm sure she probably gets to Ponderosa and starts kicking herself right away, because she's like, how did I just give that to Sarah? I just gave her this advantage. Now Sari knows that Sarah has this double advantage, and now Michaela knows that that Sarah has this advantage because she told Michaela if Sierra went that's what would happen. So Sarah has 2 advantages now, and Sierra's got to be so mad she did this. And really, I'm in this situation now where I don't see how Sarah doesn't hit the final 3 just because she has so much going for her. And it seems like she's brainwashing people. And I'm really curious if that brainwashing is going to wear off once we hit the finale.
Well, Sierra said when she's handing off the legacy advantage, she said, either I hope you didn't vote for me or I think you didn't vote for me, which means that in that exact moment, she didn't know it was Sarah. And I think this is a Chris and Millennials versus Gen X situation. This is a Debbie in this situation where in the first 30 seconds, and Michaela getting voted off of Millennials versus Gen X, you're walking down that bridge and you're not your first thought isn't crunching numbers. So it probably took her. She probably walked into Ponderosa and was like, oh, crap. I just gave it to the person who voted me out. And you know what? She told her she was going to do it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Sierra's Ponderosa just to see what her thought process was there, because I'm sure it was just a knee-jerk reaction. But even still, I'm really just surprised it wasn't Brad, because Brad's been her guy since day 1. And we did see the Sierra and Sarah. Oh, wow. There goes our Sierra Sari final 3 out the window. Oh, man, that's a tough loss. But anyways, we saw that friendship, and we hear Sarah saying, you're my girl, you're my it girl, I love you. And
Weirdest confession of love I've ever seen on the
yeah,
show.
the
That was
most
weirder than Billy Garcia. Billy Garcia,
uh,
you finally been to throne. This was weird.
well, Billy's seemed very heartfelt.
Well, that's what's so bizarre about this. Is this seemed like the least heartfelt thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, it looked like Sarah was like, "Oh yeah, here's my script. I love you. You're my what's I say? It girl. Oh, crap, I wrote it in sand. I can't really tell what's going on.
You're my
this
me
was so,
girl, my
this
wee
was,
girl.
Oh yeah, we need to do that. This is the we podcast, but it's the me
This
podcast.
is the set it to Wumbo.
The one. Anyway, but I'm just like, it seems so insincere, and I don't know what it is. Maybe you have to be out there with Sarah, but whatever it is, when she's coming across, maybe it's because we're getting to see her confessionals, so I'm putting that layer to it, but she just doesn't seem convincing. She doesn't seem all that sincere, and clearly she is. It's clearly working here. But whatever we saw in Kagayan and whatever we're seeing in these confessionals and everything, I'm just not understanding how they're all falling for it so easily. Kudos to her. She's pulling it off, and she's playing a hell of a game here. She's got two of the most powerful advantages in the game. And I just don't even know how she's doing it, because I'm sitting here going, how are you biting that? How are you doing? Well, why?
Well, I think it boils down to, again, this is something that we're not seeing so much, and it's probably just an island experience, but these people are their friends, and this Sarah Sierra relationship, yeah, we're laughing about how it sounded so scripted, but that relationship, we've seen that connection for a little bit. And Sarah even said, these people are my friends. I like these people, but the classic, I'm not here to make friends. And it's just, it's some connection that we're missing. And that last episode, when we have Andrea and Sari and Sarah talking, it's very friendly. It's very amicable. It's not, obviously they're talking strategy, but it's a very personal conversation. And like you said, good on Sarah, because she's crushing it. And I think that this has to come back to bite her in the butt, but we're at a point where there's enough people left and she has enough advantages on her own. And she's got Sari as, like, I guess Sari is her meat shield. I guess if that's who it's going to be in front of her, she can get away with all of these people next week being like, oh, wow, Sarah's playing us, or Sarah's playing us, and she can get away with it. So really kudos to her.
Yeah, and I'm just my mind is blown on this. Like, I don't know. I'm just very confused by it. And like I keep saying, I still think that her goal was get rid of Sierra. And this is another thing with the editing this season is, okay, all of a sudden it was, let's take out Brad before Sierra. But we've been built up since the merge hit that Sierra is the queen of that alliance. I was going to say kingpin, but I didn't want to make everybody mad at me. But she's the queen of that alliance. And now all of a sudden, like, Brad is suddenly going to be the first target, and then he wins immunity, so that's why they go after Sierra. Drop your microphone again. Anyway, so
on my microphone.
Oh my God. So, but like, I feel like this was just the editors being like, well, Sierra's going to go before Brad, so we have to make it seem like she's a huge threat. And maybe she was a big threat. Maybe there's like a reason all of this, but like, God, they must feel like they can beat Brad. Or they must feel like they really can't beat Brad too. I feel like Brad and Andrea are like the two biggest threats. Brad, Andrea, Sari are the three biggest threats left. Sarah definitely is trying to get rid of all of them, I feel like, before she gets there. And Sierra was another person who could beat Sarah. I'm just so confused as to why everybody was all of a sudden going, oh, let's get rid of Brad instead of Sierra. Like, not Sarah's point of view, but everybody else's.
I think it was just, I think it's just the concept that they were friends with Sierra and they weren't really friends with Brad. Because I said this on our predictions too, but we haven't seen Brad have a relationship with any of these people. And we've seen Sierra at least entertain conversations with them. And so when it comes down to, if we got to chop off the king and the queen, why don't we get rid of the person who we just don't know, who's, as we saw tonight, good in challenges, overall very likable, playing a good game so far. I think, and it's a combination of just a coin toss between person A and person B, and the person that they're just not necessarily close with.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But they ended up going for Sierra anyway, so the point was moot.
Well, because Brad won immunity.
Yeah,
Brad doesn't win immunity. I think they go after Brad, and I think Brad probably goes home. I don't think. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know if Brad goes home, because I think Ty and Michaela are much more willing to vote out Sarah. I mean, I think one of the deciding factors was Sarah telling Michaela, hey, look, she's got this advantage, like, and now you're going to know where it is and all that, blah, blah, blah. And Michaela's like, wow, she's trusting me. I'm really that I don't know who would beat Sierra in a final three based on the edit. And I get it. The edit is saying Sarah's your winner.
The
Either
edit
Sarah or
is
Sarah.
now, this is now
That's what it's saying.
forced down our throats.
Like that's what it is. But what confuses me is, are all of these people just not going to be bitter? Are they not going to feel betrayed? And I don't even know if some of this would be bitter. I mean, she's playing them, but she's playing them in somewhat unnecessary ways. Not saying the Sierra way, this one was unnecessary. But like, I'm very curious, like the Debbie one. Debbie's never going to vote for Sarah. Are there going to be more people who are like Debbie, who are bitter and say, I'm not voting for Sarah because she's the reason I went home? And not only that, I just don't like the way that I went home because she lied to me so easily. Remember, that's why people get mad a lot of times in this game. It's not because the person, got rid of them. It's because the person so easily lied to them and convinced them that it wasn't going to be them. And that's why somebody like Russell can never win this game, is because he convinces those people that he's tight with them and that they're actually his alliance. And then he goes and he votes them out, the people who aren't actually in his alliance. And that's kind of how I feel like with Sarah right now. She might be doing a little bit too much of like, hey guys, I'm friends with everybody. And all of a sudden that's going to hurt a lot more when she gets rid of you.
And I think when it comes to a bitter jury, on returning seasons, we've seen just significantly more bitter juries, and for better or for worse. But the thing is, when it comes to it's a player by player scenario. I remember I was rewatching Token Jeans, and I was not expecting Taj to be as angry as she was, and she was. I was expecting like much more of an understanding viewpoint, and obviously I understand why she was mad. I'd be pissed too, but you just kind of never know, because Debbie was voted off, and she's all happy, funny, and she's like, hell no, never voting for Sarah. So it depends on the exact situation. And with Sarah, it's so different, because I know we keep comparing it to Tony, and she's playing a Tony game, but finding a way to like not clap when they're voted out and not like shove it in their faces and make a big stink about it. But I don't know. I think it's either going to play significantly to her advantage that these people are actually her friends, or it's really going to play against her, because they're either going to be really, really mad and take it very personally because she's saying, I love you, you're my it girl, and loving Debbie, and then just turn around and voting her out. Or they're going to say, you played so well, and I really like you, which we know is the overarching factor. Mm-hmm. And here's the $1 million. I think I really just, I don't know which way it's going to go.
And that's the thing a lot of times too, is people just don't know who the real you is. And that ends up being a reason why they don't vote for you at the end, is because they'll sit there and be like, I thought we had this bond. I thought we had this relationship, and you betrayed me. You cut me at the knees, and I don't like that. And like, that happens a lot. And that's kind of like, I don't remember the Micronesia final tribal council all that well, but like Amanda seemed like she was like friends with a lot of those people throughout the game.
Yeah, and Ozzy fell in love.
Well, I mean, yeah, I get that, but like Parvati always she always let people in, but she didn't let them in so much that when she had to eventually turn around and vote them out, that they felt so hurt by it. And that's a very tricky like game to play, but it's a fine line. And maybe Sarah is doing it, but if I'm Sierra and I'm going back there and I'm like, wait, Sarah just booted me. Also, she could have this advantage that she can't use the final six anyway. She could have saved me for this week and gotten rid of me next week. That you might be saying to yourself, she's selfish and I don't trust her. Like, I thought I really liked this girl. I thought I really trusted this girl, and she used me and threw me out.
Yeah. And I think because it's a returning season, the more I'm thinking about it, I think it'll be one of the situations where they're going to be bitter and they're going to ream her out, but she probably will have played the best game compared to the other two people she's sitting next to, just because I think she is going for these big people. Like Sierra was gone, Zeke was gone. Now she's probably going to go for Brad, Sri, whoever, because she will probably have played a better game than the other two. She will be the winner.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I'm really curious if Brad gets there. Man, I think that's the closest scenario for a final.
Brad
if it's Brad and Sarah. Well, no, Sari runs away with it. I don't think that's close. What I'm saying is like,
I thought you meant it as like no one would beat Sarah other than Brad.
No. I think Andrea kills Sarah. I think Sari kills Sarah. And I think Brad and Sarah are very close, and I think everybody else is a step below where Sarah is right now. And the Sarah is the big talking point right now, just because she, this episode starts off with her saying, by the way, CBS doing this and giving us that teaser made it so obvious that Sierra was going and Brad wasn't, or at least that Brad wasn't going to go home tonight, because there's no way they're going to give you a teaser where Sarah's like, Brad Culpepper's going home tonight, and then Brad Culpepper actually goes home, because then it's like, well, why'd you give us this teaser? So like there kind of took a little bit of the drama out of it, I guess, because he won immunity. They didn't care so much. But, we have her saying right away, like, I like you, all of this. I can't believe you told me that. Sierra knew it could be a mistake, but the fact that Sarah responded so positively to it and then is really piling it on, this is another one of like those Sarah type episodes where it's like, she's getting the big edit here. So I mean, she's got to be the focal point of a lot of this talking.
Yeah, we're getting a whole lot of Sarah. So she's our narrator. Yeah. She's our winner edit right now. We're getting a lot of Sarah. And speaking of getting a lot of Sarah, do we want to segue into this reward challenge? Because the one of the first cuts we get, and we saw this tease too, of her just absolutely collapsing onto the ground and looking up into the gorgeous eyes of her husband.
That was like my favorite Sierra moment of the whole season when she's like,
oh my God. I mean, hey, that's what happens when you hit on Sarah's husband. You get voted out.
That's really what the reason was. And I think the whole reason with this was, I don't think Sarah would have reacted this way had it been Cagayan, but I guess she just had a child maybe a year or so ago. It was like in between Cagayan and now, I think she had a child. So, I mean, I think that's why she's reacting this way. She left like a very young kid at home. That was a good moment. I mean, Sarah really broke down in like the preview. You're like, why is she doing that? But then they explained it pretty well. We finally got Monica Culpepper back, which we knew was going to happen. And what I found interesting about this challenge, separated into the trios, and we can talk about all the loved ones, but they separated into the trios, and Brad and Cirie weren't together, but their whole storyline so far have been revolving around these emotional edits where Brad's been all about Monica and Cirie's been all about, you don't have your kids, you can't provide for your kids, all of that. When they ended up on the opposite teams, I was like, how are they both going to fulfill their arcs here? Because there's no way. It was the same thing with Joe back in Second Chance. He came out and he said, my whole goal is just to hit that because I didn't make it there and I wanted to see my dad. And we got to see plenty of Joe and his dad. But, I was like, how are we going to get Cirie and Brad both there? So kind of when I knew one of those teams was going to win, I was rooting for the other one of Cirie and Sierra and Troyzan, obviously. But I still like when Brad won, when his team won, I was like, Cirie's somehow getting her son. Somehow they're going to end up doing this reward together. There's no way we've seen this much about her and her kids, and we're not getting it.
And this is a little piece of information that came out recently, and I read right before the episode aired. So in that emotional scene after, I forget, I guess it's like the new Mana tribe. I'm going back and I can't remember off the top of my head. When they lose the pizza challenge and they're all crying when Michaela and Troyzan are pretending to be sad, but they're not. That scene where Brad's talking about how proud he is of Monica for being able to make it 39 days, and Cirie, everyone talking about how much they miss their family. I don't know if this is an exact scene, but Brad and Cirie struck a deal that said they will not target each other until after the family visit. And then after that, it's fair game to target each other. But they both wanted that family visit so badly that two people on kind of opposing alliances found a way to work together and not target each other. And honestly, that may be one of the huge reasons why Cirie's name has yet to be brought up. Because if one of the kingpins on the alliance that you're playing against, if they're keeping you safe because she's going to keep you safe so that you can both see your families, why get rid of Cirie? Because then there's a jury vote out the window, and they got what they wanted. They both got their families. It was a really cool moment. And now maybe we'll see a Brad versus Cirie, depending on how we want to interpret that preview.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I don't think Michaela and Ty are set in stone on one side. I don't think Sarah's set in stone on one side. I think they all know Andrea right now. Andrea and Cirie are the two biggest threats to win this game. And I think Andrea is the biggest threat right now. So I think that's who you got to get rid of first. So it'll be interesting moving forward. I mean, these loved ones, I actually thought that Brad, Aubrey, and Andrea had an easy job here because it's pick two people out of those other six. You have Michaela, who's got her mother. You got Troy, who's got his
brother.
His brother. You have Ty, who has is it his husband? It's husband, boyfriend. I'm not
I think
sure.
it was boyfriend. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And then you have, God, I'm forgetting the other. Oh, Sierra, who has her father. And then you have Sari, who's got her son, whose high school graduation she missed. And you have Sarah, who has like a newborn child. Those are two easy picks at that point because, like, you know, I know like Troy was like, come on, and Sierra's like, come on. But like, at that point, all you have to do is go back to camp and be like, she missed her son's graduation. Like, they deserve this time together. This could make up for it. And she's got a really young girl at home. So I thought their job was actually super easy. Another reason why it would have been kind of interesting if Troyzan, Sierra, and Sari would have won, because then it's like, who do they take? Like, they could take Sarah, they could take Brad, who are they going to take?
Yeah, definitely makes it a little more dramatic. No.
Yeah.
But
and then there's the whole other thing of, like, I think it was Terry who said it back in Panama. He's like, you know, there's the husband-wife bond that's way different than the mother-son one. And that made Aris so mad, because it's like, don't tell me that, like, I can't love my mother as much as you love your wife. Like, whatever it was. Like, I just remember Aris was furious about that.
Well, I think at that point, anything that Terry and Aris said to each other, they were just going to explode anyways.
Exactly. But it's a unique point where, like, somebody like Brad, who has Monica, is probably going to be looking more towards, and Brad has kids, and Monica is going to be looking more towards people with kids and people who are married. And that makes this a really easy decision when you're standing there with Aubrey and Andrea, who have their mother and their sister. Like, this makes it really easy. Exactly.
And Aubrey and her sister, I mean, sometimes you see the loved one come out and you're like, oh, are they related? But Aubrey's sister ran out and was like, oh my God, they are twins.
It was like Ken and his brother last year. I was like, oh,
yeah, I know, exactly. Hey. Okay, keep hugging.
Yeah, right? Wow, Alexa, whoa. This is what happens after midnight on the East Coast, huh?
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't even know how I'm segueing to this. But so one of the most, other than Monica, the most anticipated loved one of this season was Honey Bunny HB. And instead we get her very svelte 18-year-old son, whose earrings probably are worth more than my apartment. And he was great.
So that scene, he was great.
That scene of her being like, hey, I'm gonna go pee in that bush over there, and him just like, what? That was that was incredible. I always love the family visits, and I know a lot of people aren't very into them, but I have spent a lot of this season complaining about how we're not getting a lot of character moments, and we got like 15 minutes of this, and I loved it because it made these people human. It was funny. We had Mark the Human come out. We learned who Mark the Chicken was named after. Maybe I'm late to the party on this, but
we got a face to the name.
We got a face to the name. It would like warmed my heart that he named his chicken after his boyfriend. It was incredible. It was an overall really great scene. Nothing was forced. Andrea with her mom talking about her sister, which I didn't know about. That was news to me. It was just very natural, really, really great character moments.
Well, and that's because Andrea never had a loved ones visit on either of her seasons, right? They didn't have one in Caramello, did they? Maybe they did. I don't know. They
had one in Redemption Island. They had one. I think it might have been her dad who came.
Was it? Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I thought this one. I thought this one was long. I thought the Millennials vs. Gen X
was long. Better. This one was long.
One thing I did want to say though is, I loved back in like Panama when we got to see HB, and like she's showing him around, and he's like, "That's what you do. That's where you pee." That's like, I love those types of moments, and like, even though like now it's evolved to the point where like Monica and Brad are literally talking strategy, which of course that's what they're going to talk about. I mean, this is, they've both played the game. I mean, they're not, they're both competitors at heart. It's always fun to see actually show them what they're living in. Like Adam and his brother, it was like it was all about the mother last year, but at the same time, you still got to see like Adam's brother loves the show just like Adam does. So he gets to come out there and like see it. And like, that's like part of the excitement. And I feel like a lot of times with the loved one visits now, it becomes more about the strategy of it as opposed to everything else. I mean, was it Brandon Hance's loved one when he came out in South Pacific? I mean, that really did. That was like a big changing moment for this game where like, here we go. Like now it's just all going to be about strategy. And I'm sure it was a little bit like that before that, but that was a really, really big moment where it was like, this wasn't just fun. This was like, you need to be playing this game to win. And let's talk about where you're moving forward.
Yeah, and I think the earliest I can think of, I mean, there's probably so much earlier, but obviously this season is always at the forefront of my mind. Terry's wife, like, totally working Shane, and Terry's just sitting back there, like, yeah, I'll take another glass of wine. And obviously, it didn't end up working out. But I was like, you know what? Good for her. Like, do your thing. You're out there for one night.
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. And I mean, yeah, you have those moments, but what I'm saying is like it's never so much the forefront, or that's always like the forefront now. We don't get to see these little moments, and it's always fun when you have an old school player who's a mother and her son comes out who's got to be fairly new to life if he's just graduating high school in terms of the real world, you know what I mean? And like he gets to come out and he's like, I can't believe I'm out here in this jungle. And it would, you know what? Get Cerie's son on there someday in the future and like let's go, because clearly her entire family is a bunch of entertaining people. I loved HB, I love that guy. I'm all for the Fields family.
Yeah, we should just do well. What is she has 3 sons and is HB, so we need like 3 or 4 other big families and just have 4 tribes, and then they have to vote each other out.
You don't want to do that because then it's going to be Amber and Rob, and like they're going to do like Kid Survivor where they get like all their kids, and then it's going to be like the Culpeppers, and it's going to be this one, and then it's going to be the Bonhams. So there you go. I'm giving you the 4 tribes.
Wow.
So
well, that was you just absolutely ruined my Survivor experience.
And there you go, Alexa, with a bad idea. Quickly proven it was bad. This challenge was kind of cool with the I like this challenge that it didn't end in a puzzle. So that the people who actually got out to lead could just win the challenge, because like that's got to be so stressful if like you're trying to do the puzzle at the end and like your loved ones are sitting right there and you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna blow this. I like just have him throw the bags, and I kind of wish we could have seen Troyzan throw the bags so he could have missed by like 100 feet like he was doing earlier on. And every time they were going, I wonder if Adam was having some flashbacks, some nightmares. Because when they're going under those things, I think who went through face first? Is it Michaela? Like Adam was probably like having like a fit. Like, no, please don't. My God.
That's one of those challenges that is like up there with the spinning. You gotta get water and spit it out. This seems so harmless, having to climb under that bar, but that's like some weird torture thing that like would really freak me out.
Hey, like Adam said, if they didn't dig him out, he'd still be there.
To this day, in the middle of the night.
He would still be there.
I've been complaining about these challenges a lot this season, but these 2 challenges, both the reward and the immunity. I mean, the immunity, yeah, a lot of people are going to complain that it was like, yeah, balancing, but it was brand spanking new, and that seemed hard. That seemed very, very difficult, and one of those things where you can sit there for 2 hours and be comfortable, and it'll just fall out.
I was so down for this challenge. Like I love this immunity.
Yeah,
challenge.
I'm into
one of the more
unique
unique ones. This was very unique because like it's so simple in concept, but once you fall out of that thing, like how do you keep it there? And actually, Sarah had a pretty good chance if she didn't fall off, because she had figured out like a way to almost like stand it up on her stick, and she like put it down without ever using her hands onto the top of the little pole there. But this is I like this challenge. I mean, it's a good twist on an endurance challenge, and it's more fun to me. It's more fun to watch than the one that Adam won last year. You just like hold the sword.
And
I think this is fun to watch.
This one was double faceted too, because you're not only trying to hold the buoy awkwardly, but you're also standing on that pole too. So half the people who lost the challenge fell off. They were perfectly fine holding the ball. Yeah, I was a big fan of this challenge. I liked it.
No, exactly.
I get why people don't like endurance challenge. I'm kind of into them, but this added an extra layer, which made it really fun.
No, I really, really I like endurance challenges a lot. I just like when they actually mix them up a little bit. You know, I'm all for it. If they want to go back to the Australia stand on a pole until somebody just steps down, I'm all for it. Like, I love that challenge. Torture them with food. Like, I love that. But now the rewards are so big anyway, and they start with so much food. It's like, who cares?
Who
it's
needs
not even
food?
that
We're
big.
full.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Like these people, if you've been watching as they get voted out, I haven't watched Sierra's Ponderosa yet, but the Ponderosas, it's like, I lost half a pound. It's like, wow, good for you.
Haley and Debbie lost nothing. So Zeke, I remember in Millennials vs. Gen X, I remember he lost like 2 pounds because he was like, oh crap, I was hoping I'd lose more. He lost, I think, like 14 pounds this one.
Well, and I think that's also because he just put himself through this twice.
Yeah, it's the back-to-back thing. But yeah, if I go out there and I lose like a quarter pound, I'd be like, this is not what I signed up for.
I didn't play Survivor.
I want the Kelly Wentworth like skeleton thing.
Yeah. I also thought, you got to get the Courtney where like you're literally like, is she a person at this point? I also thought that's why like the Michaela moment for me, like a lot of times these emotional moments sometimes with like the loved ones, I'm like, okay, I get it. We're getting hammered over the head with it. Like, whatever. I thought Michaela's was so good because you got to remember, Michaela's been out there. Like, she's been a part of Survivor now for almost 70 daes at this point. Now that she played the whole time in the first season, but she didn't go home after she gets voted out. And then she's got what? Come back out and play again, probably less than 2 weeks because she got to do all the intro press, all of that. I mean, that's hard. And like for her, like this was just one of those where it's like, oh my God, like I'm coming towards the end of this run and like you're here. And I really liked Michaela tonight. I think this was one of the most positive episodes of Michaela we have seen in the entirety of her run on Survivor.
I mean, it was a positive episode, but at the same time, we got her like kicking the box. We got a couple angry. We got like that didn't need to be shown. If we're going to get a positive Michaela light, they wouldn't have shown that. Obviously having her mom was freaking adorable. And I feel like everyone else loved her mom too. It was kind of just like her mom would cheer on. And I could hear Michaela being like, Mom, I'm playing with my friends. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, that's exactly like if I was on and my mom was like, good job, Alexa. I'd be like, Mom, go away. Like, stop.
And that was my favorite part, which she's like, Michaela, calm down. It's like, Mom, I would have been like, Mom, shut up. Like,
Mom,
go
let
away.
me play with my friends.
I'm going to back talk my mother on national TV right now. Leave me alone. I'm kicking the damn box, so I want to kick the damn box. But no, I'm just saying, like, from this point, Michaela finally looked like tonight she was starting to understand the game. It's way too late. But tonight, it looked like she was figuring it out. She's like, wait a second. I got left off. Let's build an alliance here. Let's try to get things moving. I like Ty. I want to work with Ty. I'm deciding I'm going to work with Ty. I'm not going to vote out Ty because I'm being told to by Andrea. And I think that's a good thing. Is it going to work for her? I don't think so. It's too little too late. But good for her for figuring it out this way. And that, I mean, finally.
And it's an even more interesting wraparound because she was saying, I don't want to get rid of Zeke because then we only have a one-person difference and someone could flip. And look at the position she was in. It's funny how that stuff works out.
It was almost her. It was almost her who did it. And you know what? I was rooting. I'm all for that 4 who were sitting in the water.
Oh, yeah.
I was all for that.
I was like all for that. Just a little freaking out that Sari wasn't in there, but pretty. I was just going to say.
As much as you want Sari to win the game, as much as we all want Sari to win this season, sorry to everybody else on this season, but as much as we all want Sari to win, I was all about that 4. Because that's always fun when you get like this hodgepodge of people where it's like you have Ty, Michaela, Troyzan, and Sierra. It's like, how is this group coming together? And then if they can take down Andrea, Aubrey, Sari, Sarah, like that's a cool storyline. And I was rooting for it a little bit. I mean, I kind of know it's not going to happen just because who there is getting a winner's edit? None of them. So that would mean Brad would just walk to the end with a win. But still, it was like that little ray of hope. And I was like, maybe I've just been missing this whole season where Troyzan is actually getting a lot of confessionals. But yeah, I mean, this was a good idea. Sarah talked Michaela into sticking though.
Yeah, it was a bit of a tease because a lot of time it was the classic. We all got left out of the reward, and now we're really, or especially the family reward. We're upset. Let's make it happen. And a lot of times those happen, especially in these, not this season in specific, but in older seasons where there's usually a pagonging. I'm like, okay, this is it. Something crazy is going to happen. They're all mad they didn't get invited to the reward, and it doesn't happen. So yeah. I've been played before with that, so I figured it wasn't going to happen, but we'll see.
Hope.
You hope.
We had a little bit of hope.
Switch Sierra out for Sari, and I'm pumped.
Exactly. So now Sierra's gone, and maybe you will. And if Sari, Brad, Troy, and Ty and Michaela are your final 5,
boom,
Sari could win that.
Yeah.
So we had that little scene. It ends up turning into nothing because Sarah ends up talking Michaela back into the alliance. Ty ends up voting that way too, which all leads to just the confusion of how does Sierra really believe that Sarah was like that. Sarah was doing great with the facial expressions where she looked confused, and which was really funny because then Andrea and Aubrey were like confused. Like, why are you making faces? Andrea's face when Sarah made the confused face was classic because Andrea's like, wait, did you not vote for me? Like, wait, what? Like, it was really funny.
It was funny because I think Sarah was definitely playing to Sierra, which was very smart of her. Because if Sierra's gonna give her advantage away on a knee-jerk reaction, you gotta play for her, and that was huge. But then Andrew just being like, "Wait, you're confused now. I'm confused, and now Aubrey's gonna be confused." Mm-hmm. It was funny. I think it says a lot about I think Andrea's going to pick up on it, obviously. But in the moment, I was just like, I don't think anyone knows what's going on. And they're all kind of okay with it.
Yeah, no, totally. And I'm just sitting here laughing because I'm like, you have Ty and Troyzan sitting there with 3 idols between the two of them. Neither of them looked confused. They were both on the wrong side of the vote. Well, Ty was on the right side of the vote. But like nobody else looked confused. It was the people who actually voted the majority who looked confused just because of how it went down. It's going to be interesting moving forward because I just feel like Troyzan, he's not an endgame player, but I feel like just having that idol, like how are they going to get rid of him next week or the week after? Why would they get rid of him next week or the week after? And like I can't imagine a final 3 of like Aubrey, Cirie, and Michaela or something like that. So I'm still thinking Sarah is going to be smart enough to realize like she's got to get rid of the big threats that she's currently aligned with, and she's got to go to the end with really anybody else except maybe Brad. If she goes to the end with Troy, Ty, or Michaela, she wins. So why play with fire and stick with Aubrey, Cirie, and Andrea moving forward?
Yeah, and she might be slow playing Michaela as we saw this episode because I think she and Michaela might be. I don't know where I'm going with Michaela. I'm a little unsure with where her move is. I'm a little unsure where everybody's going. It'll be quite the interesting predictions this weekend.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a double boot probably because I can't imagine they're going to go in the finale with 7.
True.
If they are, I'm going to really pass out because I have no idea what's going on when I'm watching it from like 3 to 6 a.m. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm going to be a human. So that's going to be fun. What else we got? Do we have anything else? You want to do some comments? I know it's 12:41 for you.
Yeah, let's do some comments. I feel like I'm just looking at my notes real quick. Ty asked Mark, how are the cats? How funny was that?
That was great. Wait, well, I texted you about something. First of all, Troyzan saying we don't need no steak after they made that alliance. That's like another great, like Troyzan's getting these like stupid one-liners at the end of every episode, or at the end of like every scene. And then
you go, wow, it got dusty in here when Cirie's son came out.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
My roommates were like throwing onions at me.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was probably one of the more emotional out of all of the scenes.
That was a good one.
Yeah, no, Cirie with her son, that was one of the best. I loved that. Whatever, I'm down. Oh, that's what I said. I said screw them for not taking Troy and his brother. How could you do that to him?
Or Sarah and her goddess husband.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's who they took. They take Sarah and her godlike husband over Troy and his brother. I wonder.
Like, as much as I'm sad that Sierra's gone, at least now I'm not going to keep mixing up Sierra and Sarah's names because I've done it like 7 times tonight.
Yeah, no, it's very hard, and we'll try to continue talking, but it's hard when they're all like voting for and with each other. One last thing I do want to touch on, just I know it's really minor, but I wonder why we got so much out of like all the loved ones. Why do you think Troyzan's brother almost didn't come? Like it was weird that Jeff brought that up, and there was no punchline to that. It was like, well, here he is, and then Troy's like, "There's 3 boys," and I'm like, wait, did the other one actually not come? And like this is the other brother? Like I was really confused by that, and there was no punchline to it.
Yeah, that was weird because he was like, I didn't expect him to come. But we didn't really get the ending of that. Maybe hopefully we'll get someone will mention that in in the press this week. That was weird. That was a good catch. I remember watching that and being like, wait, what? Why didn't he come? I want to know. But
yeah, well, yeah, it was like I'm not sure if he's gonna be able to make it. And Brett and Jeff's like, well, let's see if he did. And I'm like, this wasn't built up at all. Like maybe like like sometimes this makes sense. This one I'm so confused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so let's see. I'm gonna try to give you a little bit of like help here and not read all these because I hate to tell everybody, but as this moves forward now for the rest of the season, comments are gonna be much less just because of the times that we're all gonna be, the time zones we're all.
Yeah, well, this is like nothing in comparison to what's coming.
The next episode we'll do a lot of comments, but then after that, I got no promises for anybody because I'm gonna be a zombie.
It's not that we don't love you; we also love our sleep.
Yeah, I gotta like not start hallucinating halfway through. Caitlin Wiggle, this is something that we've been asked numerous times, but just to bring it up now since we're actually sitting here with the loved one, who would your loved ones be?
Who would my loved one be?
Well, both of us. I'll let you go first because I'm.
So I know that my mom listens to this podcast, so it'd obviously be you, Mom. But I also think I would want it to be my brother because he's really athletic.
Yeah, see, I know my mom listens to this podcast, and Mom, it wouldn't be you. And it wouldn't be my sister either, and it probably wouldn't be my dad. I'd have to take either an extended family member or a friend because
You're
my
gonna have
dad
to go
does.
find some like weird cousins or something.
I'm gonna have to find someone. No, it's like one of those things. Well, yeah, I'll take my 6-year-old cousin. I'll put him out there on the island with me. It's like one of those things where he just talks about me and he would blow up my game. My sister would be out there for 5 minutes without eating and start throwing a tantrum, and then like my mom would fall like somewhere in the middle, but then somebody would say something that would piss her off, and that'd be the end of me. So I can't take any of you. I have to find like an extended family member or like a friend that I could be like, I don't know this idiot. I just needed somebody to come out here with me. I'd bring my
someone to come out there and tell me that my grandma died. Yeah, I think the thought process of my mom is like, I think like, Mom, I know you're listening. Probably not right now because it's 12:45 in the morning. I would pick my mom. I think she would definitely be a good cheerleader if it's just me in the challenge. And I would definitely pull the Michaela and be like, Mom, stop. But if it's one of those reward challenges where you compete with your loved one or just the loved one competes, I gotta have my brother.
Oh no, I would take my mom, man. I'd take my mom then. My dad would do like one of those flip over the pole things, like with the rope on you, and he would just fall on the ground, and that'd be the end of that. So
yeah, same
I'd take my mom in that situation. She's definitely the most athletic.
Yeah. Or my dog.
She'd probably do well. I always say her and my uncle should have done like the blood versus water thing because they're like the older pair who are like the competitive brother and sister that never stopped being competitive. They'd be great on Survivor Thanksgiving Uncles with like Troyzan and Terry. Teaser
coming up.
Oh no, I'm just saying, like Troyzan and Terry. Throw my other uncle in there. Throw my mom in there. That's like a crew. All right, we got. Oh man, we got Kaylin Wiggle. I knew Andrea wasn't going home tonight because Troyzan didn't talk about using his idol. There you go.
We also when I was sitting there just being like, oh my god, I hope Sierra doesn't go home just so that I can be right about something. At one point, Sierra had 4 confessionals and Andrea had 1, and there were 15 minutes left, and I was like, this is just not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. Gamer Girl says, how does this loved ones visit compare to the others?
On the whole,
good. It was a good one.
I would rate this in like middle to positive. I don't know what my favorite loved ones one would be, but I'd say this was a good one.
Australia, because they had that state-of-the-art laptop.
High tech in early 2000.
And we had the greatest, what do you call it? Marriage proposal of all time, where everybody's like, oh, okay.
Sick.
Roger then just like starts typing and everybody starts sobbing. Keith proposes to his like now wife and everybody's like, okay.
That was like Maddie in Gabon proposing to his wife with like a coconut or proposing to his girlfriend with like a coconut husk.
You think they'll ever do that again? Where they do? I thought that was probably my favorite ever. Was that Bob won it and like he's sitting there talking to his wife on the thing and then she comes around the corner and she's all excited and then when he comes into camp with his wife and they call in all the loved ones, I thought that was sick. Like I would love to see that again. That was probably my favorite one.
That one was a really good one. And then just because of the circumstances, the Tocantins one was good because at first it was like, oh, Taj, like you can give it to everyone else and you won't get to be with your husband. But then he's like, JK, go hang out with him on X Island and everyone else can be with it. Like it was just like an overall happy ending for everyone, just like a bone. So I was pumped.
I like when they have like a little fun with it. I mean, there's no reason you need to take it away all the time. And that Gabon one to me is just like, you got so many good moments from that. And, you know, we talked about like forced character moments on this season. Like, yeah, I was hard on the one of Suri trying to cross the balance beam. But like tonight, I love that moment. Like that's phenomenal. You're not, yeah, they're pushing it because you have the loved ones coming out there, but that's all natural. That's just a natural moment that's going to happen. And I love that. Like you're getting these moments from these guys. And those are my favorite types of things. So like
that's what we've been saying all season.
That's all I want. Make it organic. Gamer boy.
Whoa, what?
Oh man.
What a time to be alive.
I'm seeing this for the first time and my mind is blown.
I am shell shocked.
If we were doing like what like Jeff does like his 3 questions for next week and like tease us up, I would definitely say like if this was like being filmed in advance, I'd be like favorite moment in 2.5 years of podcasting happens tonight's when Gamer Boy comes into the fray here. Wow. See if they're even good questions.
This is the bar has been set.
Says Brains Brawn Beauty 3, Alexa, Will, and Phil. Where do you all place? That's just a funny question.
Oh no, I know where this is going. I want to put Will on the brain stride because they always collapse.
And he's certainly not good looking. And he's not strong.
He's certainly not good looking. I don't know, Phil. Could you
Wow.
lift anything?
Not really.
What'd you just say?
I mean, I'd be good at these types. I said shots fired. But no, I'm not really like that strong. I mean, I can lift like, I could probably do the challenge and not get last, but.
Well, that's good.
Are you trying to say you're on the beauty tribe, Alexa? Is that what you're trying to say here? Let's look at the comments.
No, I'm really not. I'm just saying I'm definitely not on the brain strive. Though actually, maybe I was because apparently I was a straight A student in high school.
Right. We'll let you guys be the deciders of that. Don't feel bad being mean.
Be mean to us. Tell us that we're ugly and not smart and not strong.
Because that's what we love. By the way, I don't think that one guy commented after I said how much he loved me. He never commented again. Sean, where's Sean?
Yeah,
Sean, where are you?
You drove him away because you drove him away with all of your love.
Yeah. Gamer boy, did anyone else see Zeke walking like he hit the gym the last 2.5 days? Intimidating jury member. It's amazing what'll happen when you can actually eat food, right? Like,
yeah, it's amazing.
Giovanni Oriano with the all-important question: what was Sierra's better game, Worlds Apart or Game Changers?
I think she played really well in Game Changers.
I think she played great on Worlds Apart. Will brought up a really good point before he vanished when he was talking about he had just watched Worlds Apart again, and he was like, Sierra gets to the end, she wins. We just didn't see it because they wanted to give us Rodney and Mike and all the no-callers.
Yeah, but I think Sierra could get to the end here and could win it.
Yeah, I think she played more aggressive this time. I don't know if that necessarily means she played better, though.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, she got farther in Worlds Apart. So I guess
the sad thing.
Yeah, I guess it depends.
The sad thing with Sierra is she's actually a really good player. Like, I really believe Sierra's a good player, but she'll never get the credit from the community because she was invisible. Nobody thought she deserved to be brought back. And then she comes back and she got played in this season. But I actually think Sierra's a really good player. She's on the wrong side of numbers almost the entire game.
She got played in the season. She got played in her vote out. I think she did. I think she carried her. She was like the head of her alliance, and she got played by someone she was close with. I don't think she got played all season. I feel bad for Sierra because I was low on her coming into this. So many people were low on her going into the season. Everyone was making these like fan favorite game changer, whatever jokes about her. And she comes on, she starts playing really well. And then people are like, oh, she's mean. Oh, she's playing too aggressive. And she played too quiet in Worlds Apart. It's like, no one can be happy with her. And I think she played a great game. I think she's a really good player. And I think she crushed it.
Yeah, and I think that's something that like people always forget is like just because you were invisible on your first season, there's a reason you got cast. So there's a good chance if you come back and play a second time, you have the ability to be a huge character. I mean, look what they're doing with Troyzan this season, and think about how big of a character he was in One World. Like,
yeah,
it just depends on what the story is for the editors that season.
Yeah, look at how much we were told to hate Brad Culpepper. Look at how much we're told to love Brad Culpepper. They are so much smarter than us, these editors. They make us like.
Are they though?
Tell us. I mean, we're buying it. We're buying whatever.
Right now, I don't know what I'm buying this season. I don't know what I'm buying this season.
Well, right now they're selling. Right now they're selling Sarah, and I think we're buying it.
Yeah, I'm just saying I've sold this season because of the editors.
I don't know. I'm poor, so I'm not buying anything.
All right, we got Jar Jar Minx. There's an inner evil Kermit that she posted, which is pretty long but pretty funny.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Episodes make me nervous. We are being set up for her downfall. There's only 2 episodes left, so we got our fair share of Michaela either way. I don't think she's gonna win. So, let's see. Gamer girl, why didn't Troyzan play as idol for Sierra and idol out Andrea like Phil wants? I think they thought they had the numbers.
Tune in next week for when Troyzan probably idols out Andrea. I don't know. There's still time.
Maybe sometime. I mean, I just think that they thought they had the numbers here.
Yeah, for sure.
Michaela, Ty, somebody, or even Sarah. I think they thought they had it. Let's see. Aaron Weiner, was I the only one who thought Mark the Chicken was going to come out when Jeff said, come on out, Mark?
The love of my life, Chicken waddles out.
Right? And Aubrey would go running to it the fastest.
Oh, yeah. Another thing we forgot to mention, Jeff made some shot at Aubrey that was like, in the hierarchy of things that are important to you, after food, how much do you love your sister? Or something like that.
Yeah. That's when I thought she was going to be coleslaw. Coleslaw.
Egg.
Right? My God. By the way, the funniest thing I've seen on Survivor Reddit was Aubrey got robbed. And it's not funny that Aubrey actually got robbed, but that was so amazing
hilarious
that somebody put that as the title. And I'm like, oh God, here comes another Michelle shouldn't have won thing. And then you click it and she literally got robbed. Aubrey, I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, well, it sounds like they didn't steal anything because she ended up finding her lost credit card, which is freaking hilarious. Really, but yeah, all the comments were like, I came with my pitchforks. And it turned that was freaking hilarious. Whoever posted that, good job.
Yeah, that was good. Aaron Wiener, this season makes me angry because there's way too many advantages. This is something interesting about these advantages, real quick. There's a lot of them, but the only reason there's so many in play is because the people who have them are so like they're just not anybody's target. Like if Ozzy had an advantage, we'd have one less advantage right now. Debbie played an advantage because she's somebody who gets targeted. Like if Andrea had an idol, we might have seen an idol played by now. But the fact that it's Troyzan, Ty, like nobody's got any reason to play any of these things.
That's a huge factor. And that's another thing on top of that is these people they're not telling anyone that they have idols. If Troyzan goes around saying, I have an idol, they're gonna go for him. So like the fact that they're not telling anyone, it is part of the reason why they're not major targets. And so, yeah, there are a lot of advantages, but they're not. I don't love having that many, but at least they're being smart and like keeping them to themselves. And that's something that every time I watch, I'm like, why did you tell someone you have the idol? Just keep your mouth shut. And you know what? They're doing it.
Yeah, no, right now they're doing it, and that's why Troyzan's getting no screen time because he's not playing flashy. And Ty will always get screen time because Ty will always be, an aggressive, wishy-washy type player. Troyzan's just not that type of player, and he's sitting there just like, got my idol burning a hole in my pocket, hanging out. Hey, we should go try to talk to those people in the water. Hey, we should try to get the numbers. But it's all very like just trying to use his idol to do anything, and I don't think he's ever going to use the thing. I really don't.
Which would be awesome, because if I go on Survivor, I would hope to not have to use my idol so that I can take it home with me.
Yeah, but he better wear the thing, because that's the only way he's getting jury votes. Gamer Girl, was anyone shocked at how long Suri and Troyzan lasted in that immunity challenge?
I was impressed that Suri lasted as long as she did. Troyzan, I wasn't too surprised. Suri,
he tore his ACL.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
He can't, like, how are you balancing? I actually was surprised that they lasted longer.
Well, you can like actively walk around with a torn ACL,
but it's hard to balance.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to balance anyway, and then, like, you're on, like, the small perch and you have a torn ACL, like, you're putting a lot of strain.
Someone goes in the live chat, Suri is a nurse.
Suri is a nurse.
Yeah, Nurse Suri fixed it up.
Yeah, that's it. That would be so funny. Oh, my God.
That would be. Suri just magically fixes his torn ACL.
Oh, my God. Giovanni Rihanna, do you like green Troyzan or purple Troyzan? Green.
Green all the way. Troyzan, I hope you're listening.
He's not even, and if anybody wants to call him the purple edit or anything, he's not even that purple. Go look at the actual purple edits the show has had. Troyzan's like doubled up Natalie Tenorelli and Kelly Sharbaugh and Purple Kelly. And like
also, I just finished South Pacific and I was reading something about like least amount of confessionals per episode. Purple Kelly doesn't even have the lowest amount of confessionals.
Oh, it's Tenorelli, isn't it?
No, it's Whitney from South Pacific. They're right. Out of the top 5 people, like 3 of them are from South Pacific.
Yeah, South Pacific was a horribly edited season. It was tough though because that was only the second time they used Redemption Island, so I don't think they really knew what they were doing. Not for nothing, Troy could get 12 more confessionals and have as many as Sophie Clark. So just saying, and would have more than Natalie and I think maybe Sandra her second time.
I think Tony has more confessionals than Troyzan right now in this season.
Tony does. Tony has 12 and Troyzan has 9.
Fun facts. What a time to be alive.
We got all the knowledge. Clutch hat trick. My question is, give me a percentage everyone's chances of winning. This is because you forgot to do 3-3-3 this week. Percentages. I'll go Sarah's like 50. Brad or Sari is like 10 because if she gets there, she wins, but I don't see how she gets there. Brad is like maybe 20. Probably around the same as Suri because it's going to be hard to get there with like 10.
Yeah, this is kind of tough because it's 90? Kind of like when we did our winners predictions of like if you get to the end versus can you get to the end.
And then I'll do like Aubrey and Ty have like 5 and then Michaela and Troyzan have 0.
You were big on Ty earlier this season.
I still think he's playing a great game. I just don't think he's not getting a winners at it. And the way it's lined up right now, Ty is at the bottom of every single alliance in this game, which is kind of what he did all throughout Co Wrong, but
True.
It's hard.
Yeah, he's in a tough spot.
Oh yeah, MVP, LVP. We got Giovanni Rihanna, MVP Troyzan for being incredibly invisible, foreshadowing his eventual win as predicted by Phil.
Yeah, people, put your MVP, LVPs in the real comments, not the live chat, please.
Yeah, and vote for somebody else to be MVP than Troyzan, because Troyzan wasn't the MVP this week. It's probably Sarah, because she gets the advantage and she got rid of whoever she wanted. Also, she's on my team.
Yeah, I was about to say, that was a shameless.
Yeah, but it's true. I mean, who else deserves it? And then LVP, I mean, at this point,
Brad.
It could be Troy.
Just lost to Brad or Troy. Yeah, Brad or Troy.
Brad or Troy, I would think. Probably Brad, because he lost his closest ally.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have. He didn't get the advantage. That's crazy.
Yeah, I would be
shocked.
pissed if I was Brad.
God, that editing is confusing me. Wub, Cerise still sitting pretty, appears to be the swing next week. I'm telling you, that reward scene was huge. She's finale bound. I really think I think Cerise in the finale. I think she makes it.
I know, but finale bound isn't good enough for me.
I know, but that's a lot of episodes of Cerise that I doubt you expected to get.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, Cerise was a miserable pick.
Hey, not for nothing. She has more points than everybody except for Brad and Troyzan on Will's team. So how does Will feel now? His whole team was sorry.
Oh, I cannot wait to shove that in his face.
So tonight was night 31. Yeah, I think like Will only has Brad and Troyzan left. You have Suri and Aubrey.
I have Suri and Aubrey.
Yeah. So pretty much all you who didn't vote for me, you were wrong, but God, my team's good. Sarah, Ty, Michaela, God, that's Andrea. What a team. But yeah, no, Will's team was garbage. He picked, look what he did after calling your Suri pick.
He also picked Tony, so.
And Sandra. Sandra was great, but those were his picks. And he took Ozzy after you took Suri and was talking crap about your Suri pick. Well, I got Ozzy here. I'm so happy with that.
You literally picked Ozzy last.
Yeah, you showed him. Wub, biggest blind side of the season was that HB didn't appear tonight. Suri's son could be amazing on a future season, though.
True.
Ice X, thanks for running late just for me. I'll watch it live. There you go.
Yay! I'm glad we can keep some of the West Coast people happy.
At least once, right? I mean, man. What is this?
All
right, we got Survivor CBS fans took a picture of watching us. I'll retweet that.
Heck yeah.
and it's a picture of me, so we took it at the right time. Adam Heinrichs.
Wow.
Adam Heinrichs just wanted to inform you that fan favorite game changer Sierra Dawn Thomas has passed Sandra with 23 confessionals compared to 21. Huzzah. She did it.
She did it.
He was talking all season. He's like, do you think Sierra will ever do it? She only made it to final 9, and she actually did it.
Wow.
Nathan Garcia is what'd you say? Continue.
No, go ahead.
Sorry. Nathan Garcia, is Andrea/Aubrey noticing Sarah acting weird after Sierra got voted out enough for Sarah to be targeted? Will Sarah need her vote steal next?
Well, there's not many people left, so she's probably going to use it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing with Sarah is here, even if they target her next, that vote steal is so big now that we're down final 8, and she seems like she's got a couple people who at least would vote with her. It's not going to be unanimous. And then she just has to make it one more vote, and then she's at final 6 where she gets to use that other advantage. I mean, she's pretty set up.
Yeah, she's in a perfect position.
Darius Retzer, for both of you with 8 left, here are your 2 most likely winners and the 2 with the least chance to win. I just did this. Who are your 2 most likely and 2 least?
2 most likely, I mean, I got to go with Sarah and probably Sarah and Brad. And then least, I'm going to go Ty and Michaela. No, excuse me. Michaela and Aubrey.
Really? Not even Troy? You think Troy has a better chance to win than Michaela and Aubrey?
Do you think people are going to vote for Michaela?
No, but I think that Troy, this from the edit, I mean, I just don't see how Troy wins. I mean, I don't
see how Michaela wins.
Was it Adam told us like that they like actively hid Michelle, they actively hid him as a winner. Like this would be like over actively hiding Troyzan as a winner.
This would be
Troyzan
insane.
this is like Natalie White levels of hiding.
Man, Natalie White got so screwed by her edit.
Oh yeah. Alex Day, Karen Moen had loved ones. Brenda gave it up for Eddie Cochran, Sherry, Eric. Dom went crazy back at camp. Sorry. Dom went crazy back at camp, and then Brenda went home. That's right.
Right.
Good times. Adam Heinrichs, Sierra voted out right after Loved One's visit, just like in the Dirty 30. Alex Day, let's talk about how Sierra was asked who the threats are, and she didn't even mention Suri. They're all blind. # Yes Queen.
Yeah. I don't know what she's doing to them.
I have no idea. Ishmael Abdel Latif, do you guys think Suri can somehow inherit Ozzy's challenge skills and win the Final Four immunity?
Goodness gracious.
Wouldn't that be a godsend? And then Adam Heinrichs, I thought Troyzan's loved one was going to be his island and the island of Samoa was going to merge with Fiji. That would have been fun. I think.
Just smash into the island. This is getting a little too Lost-esque.
Yeah. We got to move the island. We got to move the island. It's a wheel. What do you want me to do? Jeremy Krebs, scenes from. God, I love Lost. I could sit here and just keep making Lost.
Such an incredible show.
And I love all the people who like never watched it who are like, that sounds like the dumbest thing ever. Yeah. They make you believe it's like not. That's how good the show is. Jeremy Krebs, scenes from next week's show, Suri playing Ty Hard. I think she's going to do to him what she did to Eric.
Oh God. I can only handle so much.
Oh man. I mean, it would have to be like giving up an idol. Maybe Ty finally blabs about the idols. Maybe it finally happens.
God, I hope we get evil Suri. She's the best.
Got to put the fake mustache on her with the monocle. Jake M. Larson. How many people are making the finale? It seems like a lot of people left just for a couple weeks. I'm assuming next week's going to be a double boot.
Yeah, we're going
one episode. 6. I'd be really surprised if they went more than 6.
That would just be ridiculous.
Yeah, that would be like really crazy. All right. I'm exhausted from speaking. Let's see here. So what do you think here? How many more do you want to do, Alexa?
I can go longer.
Wow. Okay, I can't. Giovanni Oriana, not to sound like one of your trolls, but I think your mouth skills are off. I did the numbers, and I have 20 points. 3 from Tony getting the most. Wow.
Wow. How
many did I say you had, Giovanni? 19, I guess. I'll have to look at that. 6 from Andrea winning immunity. How would you have 6? You can only get as much as 3. Your math skills are off, Giovanni. You only get it one time. Anyway, Giovanni Arana, my prediction for this episode is that Troyzan breaks the fourth wall and says, watch Phil and Alexa on the Survivor Specialist podcast. Maybe that's why he's not getting any screen time, is because that's all he said the entire time.
Yeah, that'd be a little unfair to, just promote us. I understand where CBS is coming from.
CBS had to promote
you want an even distribution, all that. I get it.
Beyond the buff. Once Sakasta, I may be taking it too personal, but as someone who doesn't have either parent anymore, I've lost respect for Andrea after the give her a day, she'll be over at confessional. What was that in regard to?
I think that was in regard to we didn't pick Andrea.
We didn't pick Michaela.
Oh no, we didn't pick Michaela, and she'll get over it tomorrow.
That's. I mean, I haven't lost either of my parents, but I think that's. I don't think that's what her intention was. Her intention was she's going to see her in 9 days. She'll get over it. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Wentz Acosta, I didn't know I wanted to tie Michaela lines until now. Also forgot to mention, love the reaction of Suri's son on the where's the restroom conversation. Benji Mitchell, with each episode, I feel Sarah's getting more of a winner's edit. Do you guys think the new tie rule is ever going to come into play, or will it just be a pagonging from here? I still don't think it's going to be a pagonging.
I don't think it's pagonging it's kind of like purple. It's that phrase is so like thrown around. I don't think they're going to use it just because it hasn't been mentioned much, but who knows? I feel like there's just actually, I was going to say, I feel like there are too many advantages and idols floating around, but maybe those advantages and idols could lead to that. I don't think it's going to happen though. Well,
a pagonging is the new purple. It's just like, let's see how many times we can say it. It's not a pagonging.
Or it's like people on Reddit saying iconic. That word is so blatantly overused.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not that big on Reddit, but I just know pagonging, this is not one, because a pagonging has a very strict set of rules. Dennis O'Connor. Dennis O'Connell. Sorry, I would like to go on record and say Sarah's my least favorite contestant in a long time. She is so fake and is making relationships that I feel aren't genuine. Yeah, players might think they are legit, but it's in Sarah's confessional. She's obviously faking them. They happen to like her. Her criminal play is such BS. She is playing the same game that she did in Kagayan, but there's no Tony or Trish to call her out on it. If she wins, she'll be one of my least favorite winners ever.
I wonder what a long time means, because Will and Dan were not that long ago.
Yeah, I don't even hate Dan that much. Dan had his moment. Dan had his moment. Will is despicable. But no, I actually, the thing, like, he pretty much just said everything I said with Sarah. Like, I'm just not buying what she's putting out, and everybody on the island is, though, and that's what she needs to have happen.
Yeah, I can't get a good read on her. And I've been saying that since the beginning. I'd like to see how it finishes up, because I'm still just confused how she's getting away with all this.
Yeah. Gamer Girl, whoa, it's like Sarah's every advantage in the game now. Is she now the advantage whisperer this season? All she needs now is an idol. Tie her choice and her hit and play yours so she can find one.
I hope they don't plan another one. What about this tribal council idol? It's the only time I'm okay with them.
Never going to happen. I don't think we're ever going to see it.
Oh, that was the one.
Not this season.
I actually was decently okay with.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see it. Bullshit. There's a strong chance that Ty and Troyzen are going to idol themselves in the final three. No one is targeting either of them. And Ty has 2 idols. He might also end up using his idol to determine the 3rd finalist. Would that be a Survivor first 3 idol finalist? You can't. I mean, they can only use the final 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, final 6. That changed, but I think it's final 5.
Right.
So, I mean, I would just think it'd be interesting if Ty and Troyzen are both sitting there at the end, just being like, "Hey, like, I didn't even have to play this."
Yeah, just handed Jeff my idol, and I moved on up.
Right. The Real Negro. I've noticed over the last couple level 1 visits that the loved one always has something powerful and inspirational to say. Now 1 or 2 I can understand, but all 9 had something to say. Do you think Jeff tells them before to say something powerful when they come out? Because I just don't remember the loved one visits like this. Do you wish everyone got time with loved ones?
Well, Jeff was asking.
For example, the 5 go on the reward while the others go back to camp with their family. I'm sorry, Jeff, Alexa. Are you interrupting me again?
Well, you were pausing. You were making long pauses, so it sounded like it was done.
I think your internet's going in and out.
What I was saying is Jeff kept asking them questions.
Yeah, but I do think that he tells them to come in with like some sort of plan nowadays, because he wants to make sure.
It's not going to be like, I'm going to hug my mom and be like, peace.
Yeah, like what was it? Like Rick back in South Pacific gave his wife a hug, grabbed her butt, and she went on her way.
Yeah, well, he had nothing to say any time ever.
Classic.
He snores.
The Real Negro, after tonight, I can't see Sarah winning. She screwed almost everyone in the game, and honestly, I can't see how anyone can respect that. It's easy to keep flipping when you're not in danger. It's also more impressive if you can stay loyal to an alliance while making relationships with other players. Hope to God that if her and Brad are in the finals, players don't award Sarah because Brad has money, because I'm pretty sure cops make good money, and her husband probably is good too. Hope Brad wins. He's real genuine, and I respect the hell out of that.
Do we know what her husband does?
No, I don't know what her husband does. I have no idea.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, they sounded like they knew that. Yeah.
Maybe they make $200,000 as like a international marketing director or something.
No, it's actually a global marketing director.
Sorry, why are you cutting out a little bit on me? You're cutting out a little bit on me.
I'm good. I'm here. I've been here. I can make that joke again because
I know.
I'm happy to.
I don't know.
I
don't know. But yeah, I mean, is that what it is? The global marketing director? I can never remember.
I think she's a global marketing director that makes $200,000 a year.
That's what it is. Definitely $200,000 though. Like I'm
no more, no less.
200,000. No way. $200,000. That's how like she could probably afford to go on these like
lavish
huge excursions to Survivor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
moving on.
People who are in on that joke who are like,
whoa,
I get it. But
what?
That's okay. We make jokes for ourselves. Are you surprised Sierra didn't give her advantage to Troyzen? Not surprised about Brad, since she has indicated they aren't as close as we might have thought, but the editing never indicated that Sarah was her number 2 all this time.
I mean, I don't think we ever saw her talk to Troyzen.
I mean, the Sarah thing's weird too, though. The editing hasn't indicated much with these relationships. It's really weird.
Yeah, but it's indicated more of a Sarah relationship than a Troyzen relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Nobody's really been seen talking too much to Troy. That's why these exit interviews are so crazy. Ultimate Survivor fan. Is tonight's move considered a blindside? I kind of see it as a double-edged sword since both Andrea and Sierra would be betrayed if either go home, but it seemed up until the scramble right before Tribal that to be blindsided, and by the looks of the preview, it doesn't seem like she's going home. I'm ready for some Michaela Brad warfare. This season is taking a turn for the better, I think.
I actually don't think it was a blindside, and it was kind of cool. We didn't talk about this. Both Andrea and Sierra at the end, they were like, yeah, it's one of us because someone's lying to us. It was a cool moment of like somewhat camaraderie in two people who were on opposite sides.
Yeah, no, sorry, you cut out like for a second and then like you came back for. I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's you, I don't know what's going on, but that's okay. Sorry. I'm sure it was a good point. I just didn't hear it.
No, what I'm saying is the two of them, even though they were on opposite sides, they had a cool moment of camaraderie because they were both like, yep, someone in our alliance is lying to us. It's either going to be me or you.
Totally lost you again. Anyway,
I know. Okay, that's got to be you because I'm like, I don't see you freezing at all. And normally when I'm
Can somebody
freezing,
tell us? I'm plugged in.
All right, let's keep going.
Anyway, I don't know who it is. Somebody tell us. Let's see here. Gamer Girl just noticed something while I was updating my Survivor database. Michaela is a little bit like someone from the earlier seasons who doesn't get talked about a lot. Alicia Calloway. Is anyone else seeing this, or is it just me? She's like a better version of Australia Alicia, but not All Stars Alicia. Yeah. Could you hear me?
No, say that again.
All right. All Gamer Girl did was compare.
Oh no, I heard. Oh yeah, I got that part, and I said, "Ooh, I don't know if I'd compare those two."
It's me. Yo, you wanna just bail now then, since it's late for you anyway, and I'm cutting out.
Sure, let's bail. Yeah, you're cutting out.
Okay, cool. Let's end this then. I don't know what happened.
Right, let's end this. So, because Phil is going to be gallivanting around the world, we are probably going to podcast on Saturday. The time is TBD. We'll let you guys know. In the meantime, leave comments on this video for who is the MVP and the LVP of this episode. Any comments that you want us to read on Saturday, tweet at us at Phil_and_Will. Leave us a comment on this, the Survivor Specialist, Phil and Will, and we will be back in touch in a few days.
Yeah, probably Saturday. We'll see you then.